with Mo. It is currently 7:15, July 14th, 72 degrees here in McDonough, Georgia. Heat advisory today if you are on the road. If you are joining us from New York, I believe we had a heat advisory there as well, right?
Yes, heat advisory in New York. As of right now, it's 71 degrees and sunny all day over there. It's going to be raining here all day. And in New York, nice and sunny.
Happy Tuesday, y'all. Plan for the rain. If you have to leave the house, I'm sorry. 90% of y'all work from home anyway, so y'all will be fine. Uh, my name is Mo Mitch. The producer is joining me.
Good morning.
And good morning to y'all. So today is a good day and a sad day. It's a good day because we have one of the final 3 World Cup games.
That's actually tomorrow.
It's Tuesday, I thought.
I thought it was on Wednesday.
No, don't
I'm
do that.
wrong?
Don't do that because I woke up excited. Stop playing. Don't do that. You're supposed to have this information ready to go.
I could be wrong.
I thought it was one game today, one game tomorrow. Please tell me I am not wrong.
Today, okay,
France and
you know
Spain
what?
played
Yes,
today.
I'm thinking
Yo, I
about the
got it.
game in Atlanta.
Yo,
I'm
watch
sorry.
out. Watch out. I got it.
I'm
If you're in
focused with
Atlanta, there's a World Cup game today. France plays Spain, 2 of the best teams in the nation. We've been waiting for this to go down. Producer, I got it. Don't worry about it, right? And then tomorrow
They play in Atlanta. That's why.
where they play today?
Today, I'm not sure.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. And the producer wasn't at the Jay-Z concert, which I also want to start there. Today, the main event that we have cooking for y'all is we have a pilot story of why a pilot was fired for something that they did in the cockpit. Children warning on that one. And if you are raising a child, co-parenting, and one parent wants to take their child to a park to hang out with another set of parents that they're familiar with without being there to supervise the child, would you have a problem with it? Which parent do you side with? That's the debate that we'll get into to close the show. To start off, there are about 10,000 people who are over 35 years old and just got home on Tuesday morning from a Jay-Z concert that started on Sunday. If you're unfamiliar with this, Jay-Z had the 3rd show called Extra Innings, ironically, where 10,000 people were stranded because of a security breach at Yankee Stadium, and they could not get in through the doors until about 3 hours. After 3 hours of waiting online, they finally got the show to start, which was about midnight, 12:30, I believe.
Right. It was supposed to start at 8, I believe, and it didn't start till about 12:30.
Now, I need y'all to understand why this is funny because, well, first of all, Jay-Z is 69 years old. So I know he had to take a nap. He told somebody to wake him up when the hoopla was over. For everybody that was outside, it was a hard knock life. It was celebrities. They couldn't get in. There was Fabulous couldn't get in. A$AP Rocky had his whole child with him. He couldn't get in. And we are talking about people in their 40s and in their 50s with Tim's on at midnight on a Sunday night. Do you know how much these people really love Jay?
They love them some Jay.
I am not a fan of anybody that much. Is there anybody that you would wait up at this point in life until 1 a.m. with Tim's on a Sunday night to see perform?
You?
Thank you. I wouldn't wait for myself. Like, for real, I love Jay as much as the next person. I'm from Brooklyn. I can't see it. It ain't like he gonna zip line from the ceiling like a Chris Brown concert. Like, I'm, with all due respect, what is Jay-Z gonna do up there that I am waiting 4 hours in Tim's on to see?
I don't know. It just felt like something that you had to be a part of if you were in New York. You couldn't miss out on one of those 3 nights. And some people actually went to all 3 concerts.
That's nuts. No, thank you. I think I was New Yorked out after the Knicks won the finals. But I do know that we have some clips because he was like in a collecting celebrities like on the like the Avengers, right? Who was there? Who did he bring out?
So on the first night, he brought out Alicia Keys. He brought out Beyonce. He brought out his daughter, which we have a clip of that. The second night, he brought out Eminem and Pharrell. And on the third night, that was when he brought pretty much everyone out. I guess they had extra time to get there. I don't know if all of that was planned. It probably was. But it was Beyonce, Tiana Taylor, Rihanna, Clips. Who am I leaving out?
Jeezy.
Jeezy.
Did you say Usher?
Usher. I forgot about Usher. Yeah, he had a
star-studded cast.
Yep.
There were rumors. I didn't see this. I know we have a clip of it. Do we have a clip of Beyonce?
Yes, we
performing? You said she looked amazing. So that was, you didn't have to tell me much more for me to check it out. So what we got? This is Beyonce.
This is Beyonce on the third night, the extra innings night, the night that it started at about 12:30. And I don't think it ended till almost 3.
Can you imagine how to stay up?
That's why during the performance, when she started singing, and she was like, "Come on, y'all, I can't hear y'all," and it was like, "Okay, everyone's probably
tired." I saw people falling asleep.
You did? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they had video of people falling asleep at the concert before he came out.
Oh, absolutely. Take a nap if you're not going home, because I don't even think people could leave because of that security breach. You can get in or out of the stadium.
I think I would appreciate what she said, but I'm not.
Yankee Stadium.
She does look great. This is good.
Yo, help me sing it.
And again, this was the third night because on the first night, she also came out in a different outfit.
And Blue Ivy also came out.
Yes, here we have Blue Ivy. This was the first night.
She's playing the piano.
She was playing the piano and looking like Beyonce.
She's definitely looking like Destiny's Child right now. That's fine.
And you saw that it started with a clip of Beyonce cutting Jay-Z's hair. That's how the show started. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. All right. Do you regret not going?
I do. I wish I was in New York, but when don't I wish I was in New York?
Yeah, I wanted to be a part of the energy once I saw it all happening. Like I said, at this big age, y'all, I don't know how y'all feel about concerts. I will go. It has to be on a Saturday. It has to start on time. I'm not playing none of these games. I would not have waited. When I saw that people had to wait online 3 hours to get into this concert, that's the moment when I realized I did not feel bad for not a single one of them. I was in hate mode that I was not there. I was happy this happened. And there was a part of me that felt like, damn, as somebody who is a full-blown New Yorker, man, maybe I should have been there. But it looked like it was a great time. He's added more shows, I believe. Is he going to be in London now?
He's going to be in London. He's going to be in Paris. And then as of right now, his last date is October 23rd in LA. I have a few friends that went because I saw it on their social media. But one of my friends that I actually spoke with, she went the first night and she said, I got there late and I got there just on time because it didn't actually start until 9 p.m. It was scheduled to start at 8, but didn't start till 9. So.
Wow. All right. Well, let's get to the 2 stories that I have lined up for y'all. One involves a pilot who was just fired. This is a true story that came out about 4 days ago and it went viral. If you are listening with children, this is a trigger warning or a child warning, I should say. This is going to be some adult content. There is a pilot who was fired because he was caught. There's no other way for me to say this. Having oral sex.
What?
Playing the piano orally, if you will. With his co-pilot. And they were caught.
What do you know what airline it was?
I don't. Let me see if I can figure that out. I did send you the story for you to do research on and look it up so that you would know what the airline was, but apparently you did not do so. And
It
so
was American Airlines.
there we are. This is American Airlines, and they were forced to make an emergency landing after two cockpit crew members were allegedly caught engaging in a sexual act while the aircraft was still in the air. So I have a question, and I want to know how you feel about it. First of all, should he have been fired? That is the question.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can engage in those type of activities at work. So if you get caught in at any job, you'll probably be fired.
I respect that, but if you can't do this at this particular job, why is it called the cockpit?
I don't know.
No, you have to. Somebody has to explain this. If you cannot have what, it's called the cockpit. Why you can't get it off? The plane flies itself nowadays, right? So,
yeah.
do you know how this happened?
How?
Apparently, there was turbulence on the flight, and there was no announcement about the turbulence.
Because they normally tell you, yeah.
They
Buckle
normally,
your
the pilots will
seatbelts,
come
yeah.
on the intercom and let you know that there's turbulence and tell everyone to be seated and tell the flight attendants what to do, give them some instruction. There was no instruction. Apparently, there was a lot of turbulence on this flight, and the pilot was up there going to work to the point where they forgot to make an announcement or didn't care to make an announcement because they had their own set of turbulence going on, and nothing was said. So one of the flight attendants went to the front to try to figure out what was going on. And I thought once the door is locked, no one can get in. I don't know how they got in.
So that's what makes the story like questionable, because how did she get in?
Because it's normally locked.
Yeah, after 9/11, that's top security. You
Does
can't
it
get
say
in
in
there.
the story?
It didn't.
See, I don't know how she got in. That's the part I couldn't figure out. But apparently, somehow she figured it out. She found out because when she got in there, that's what she witnessed. She witnessed the pilot indulging with his co-pilot in a sexual manner.
I mean, unless if they left the door unlocked, which they shouldn't, obviously for security reasons. Maybe that's why they're getting fired. I don't know.
How horny are you? That's what I want to know. No, seriously. Like that you can't land this plane. Pilots got mad time. You got all of the time in the world. Pilots and flight attendants are away from their significant others more than damn near anybody else. Police officers come to mind, firefighters. It's certain jobs where you got a lot of time. They go to hotel rooms every night. They got layovers every night, right?
Well, yes and no. It depends on what their schedule is, because one pilot, like, they may be flying somewhere together and land at whatever that destination is, and then their schedule might change and they may have to go fly with somebody else. Does that make sense? So what you think is about to be a 3-day trip could end up being a 1-day trip, and you end up being rerouted somewhere. That doesn't happen, I don't think, too often, but it happens often enough. And I know this because I have a pilot family member.
Well, get him on the phone because I want to know how this happens as two pilots. I would imagine these pilots knew each other. They had some form of a relationship, and I think this was something freaky to do, was it not?
Absolutely. Maybe it was on their bucket list.
Yo, for this to be on your bucket list is wild. I mean, it's one thing to want to do this as a flying passenger, but to be a pilot and for it to be on your bucket list to take your cock out in the cockpit and really just get busy, that is insane. And to believe that you would never get caught.
I wonder if they are getting their license taken away, or like what other company is going to hire you after having that on your resume.
I don't think you would put it on your resume.
Yes, but that type of job,
You can't call my last employer. You got to call the one before that. If they ask me as a pilot where I used to work, you know I'm gonna tell them Spirit. Good luck calling them. Ain't no resume. What you want me to do? But
Yeah.
that's insane. How mad would you be if you're on that flight and you find out that this was happening on the flight that you were on?
I don't know if I would be mad or if I'd probably be laughing.
This story takes me back to, I know that some people do have this type of fetish to want to engage in sexual activities at work. It takes me to the lawyer. I remember the lawyer. There was a lawyer that was just caught, or if it wasn't a
Or
lawyer,
a
it
judge.
was the judge. That's what it
Yes,
was.
you
It
told
was
me
the
about that.
judge, and he got caught with, was it the DA?
I believe so.
And I get that if you are cheating on your significant other, and you got somebody that you do this with at work, that you may not get many of opportunities in order to be with this person. But I have never experienced a situation where you would want to risk your job, your place of employment, for a few moments of pleasure,
And I
such
don't
as
even
this.
think it's a job for a lot of these, like the one you just mentioned, the DA and the judge and the pilots. It's not just a job, it's your career. Because, you know, it's not like it's your part-time job, that I'm not going to say doesn't really matter, but this is your whole career. This is your life.
If
You're
you want to be,
risking that for what?
you do all of that training just to end up being an OnlyFans star. What's the point of that? In all sincerity, I don't know. I don't get it. But yeah, I do. I'm joking in saying should they have been fired? They should have certainly have been fired. There's also a hierarchy thing here, right? Because I don't know if the pilot or the co-pilot was the one. I don't know who was doing
Who's
the
doing?
this
Well,
story.
what if they both were and she just caught one?
If they both doing it, first of all, let's talk about the level of talent that takes to be able to do that. For real. All right, what's worse? Would you rather them be doing that or would you rather them be asleep? Or would you rather them be drunk? If you had to choose between the three, and you know that they put the flight in cruise control. The flight's doing its own thing. The pilots now are there. What would you prefer?
I think I would prefer. Okay, yeah, I guess they can have a little fun.
There you go.
Because if you're asleep, you might be in deep sleep.
See what I'm saying?
And what was the other one? Sleep.
Fellatio.
Wait, no. Didn't you give me three
Drunk.
options? Oh yeah, I don't want them to be drunk. So yeah.
This is your best option. You know what I mean? Little cock in the cockpit is your best option. You prefer this over them being drunk? You would prefer this over them being asleep? This is the best option.
Yeah, it actually is.
They got it off. I ain't gonna lie. They took the Mile High to another level. They got it off. What I will tell you is I think retroactively, designer who was kicked off of the flight for designing himself, if you will. I don't know if he was on a United flight, but if he was, I'm appealing.
Stop. He was
because clearly, right? Companies lead by example. Shout out to United, couldn't be Delta.
It was American.
American, but all three of them. All right, now I do want to have this debate. I thought this was a good debate. I have a friend of mine who is going through this very situation as we speak, and I will get into the details of this situation on my podcast in the moment, which is released every Wednesday morning at 5 a.m. But nothing says radio like two people who are not parents having a debate about what parents should do. And so that's what I have decided to come in here and do this morning. I feel for a friend of mine, and this was one of those situations, I'm not gonna lie, where I was torn. Because sometimes you have a friend call and tell you what they're going through, and the majority of the time I feel my friend. I'm on the side of my friend. And in this case, I'm always on the side of my friend. But normally I cannot see where his child's mother is coming from. But in this case, I can. And so I was like, I'm curious as to what people would think about this. But So co-parenting is difficult. Obviously, if you do co-parent, I do not envy you and I wish you all the best and I pray for you in that situation because I know it's tough. He has, I don't know if you would call them friends, but they're acquaintances, set of people that he is familiar with. I don't know that he's known them his entire life. I don't know that these are his best friends, but I know he knows them. He's very familiar with them. They have hung out on several occasions. They have a child. He has a child. The children are around the same age. And they enjoy hanging out with each other. So the parents were going to be at the park, which is up the street from where he resides. And they were taking their child and they reached out and said, hey, if you want us to take your daughter to the park, then we can all, we'll babysit for a little bit. He didn't see anything wrong with it. She wanted to go play at the park with her friend, and he allowed her to do so. In his mind, I know these people. They're going to supervise her. She'll be fine. Everything will be cool. He said it was only going to be about an hour of time, if that. When the word got back to mom, she was not happy about this because she is not familiar with the set of parents that her daughter was going to be around. Now, I don't know the rules, but in her mind, she felt like it doesn't matter if you are familiar with these parents, if you are comfortable with these parents, because I am not. I don't know them. You could have known them your whole life. I don't know them. And she feels like, as we are co-parenting, if you are going to take our child somewhere and allow them to be supervised by another set of adults, I should know them. End of discussion. And if I don't, then you can't do it. And I would reciprocate the same thing. If the roles were reversed, I would also do this. He feels like you bugging. I know these people. She's in my care. She's fine. You doing too much. Now, she did take it to a whole nother level, and that's the details I will get into on my podcast. That's for another day. But just staying where we are, if you're co-parenting, if you're in this situation, do you have a problem with your child's parent taking your child to a park to be supervised by someone else that you have never met for a little bit of time if they are comfortable with this set of parents?
I'll have a problem. I think for one, you should ask me or notify me first. Like, hey, she's going to the park with my neighbors. And then, you would have avoided that problem. She could have been like, no, I'm not comfortable. Or are you going? If you're not going, she shouldn't go either.
Now, is there levels to this? Because it depends on how comfortable you are with these people. For example, you may have friends that you've known your whole life. Now, I'm with you. If you barely know these people, then I'm not comfortable with it. But what if you are, and this is your friends or this is your family, not necessarily mine. I don't know them that well, but you've known them your entire life. Do you feel like you would still feel that way?
Yes, because you don't really know who they're going to bring around. I always feel like somebody that you trust 100% is going to have to be around your child to just make sure that they're okay.
Now, to argue the other side of this, though, right? What is the difference with daycare?
I know, well, sometimes some people don't bring their children to daycare until they can speak because they want them like, oh, how was daycare? So they can know what was going on. And I know they're a kid, they may forget, but a lot of people don't even they're homeschooling now for that reason.
So, okay, that's fair. But if you're saying that you don't bring them to daycare until they can speak, so if the child can speak, so if I'm on the other side of this and I'm saying, okay, you have an issue with me taking our child to be supervised by people I know that I'm fly with. I know these people. You may not know them, but I know them. If we take the child to daycare, neither of us know these people. We're hoping. We're wishing on a star here, right? But if we take them to my friends that I know, what's the problem? If we would take them to daycare, why can't I take them to my friends that I know? I feel more comfortable with my child being in the presence of friends that I know than I do of strangers at a daycare. So if you're not going to complain about the daycare, then this now starting to feel like it's a little personal, and you would have had an issue with whatever I was going to do with the child because you just don't want the child to be with me.
I don't know. I mean, I don't even like leaving my dog with people. I have like, I don't know. I'm
Fair
like
comparison.
a Velcro. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
I
imagine
mean,
a child. Like, it would be even
but
more magnified.
I don't know how to navigate that in today's world because I feel like if I had a child, and I know you're not supposed to say this, but especially a daughter, I'm not. Today's world, my son just the same. I don't think I'm letting them go anywhere.
I agree.
I would be that parent.
I
You're
agree.
not going. I'm sorry. For real.
I wasn't allowed to go anywhere. Like, if I wasn't allowed to go, I didn't have any sleepovers, or I didn't go to sleepovers. I think one time I had a sleepover at my house. I really couldn't go to friends' houses. They would have to come to mine if they wanted to, but I was never allowed to go anywhere.
I wasn't allowed to go anywhere, and my friends couldn't come over. My parents wasn't with it. Like, you couldn't. I think they got a little more lenient as I got older. And when I was a child, I hated that because all of my other friends were going to their friend's house and you didn't know what was happening. And I can really only remember going to one, maybe two sleepovers in my entire life. Now, I wasn't the kid that wanted to be at the sleepover. I went to the sleepover and was ready to go home. I didn't understand why we had to sleep over. Once I ate, I was like, okay, I'm done with this. Like, can we just go home? Like, I don't understand why we had to stay. But I do understand both sides of it. Now, I think I would be on the side of overprotective parent. I feel like that's who I would be, just because it's just a nasty world. You can't trust anybody. You just really can't. But I do understand him feeling like she's fine. They have a child of their own. She's across the street. I probably would have been across the street with her. But if you leave your child, like, I think that's normal for a lot of people to take their child to a friend's home and let the friend watch your child while you go and do whatever you do. That is a normal thing. So I can understand him feeling like, yo, what is the problem?
It's probably because he didn't discuss it with her before. Because I'm thinking about the times that I've babysat my friends' kids, and most of the time, both parents know me, so they didn't have an issue. But there was this one time that the dad didn't know me. I actually went to my friend's apartment because she was going out or something, and he didn't know me, so it's not like he had a huge issue, but it's like, I don't know her. Like, why is she taking care of my kid? Like, why are you leaving the house? They weren't together; they were co-parenting. But thinking about it, I don't think he was wrong because we never met.
Yeah, I think I'm on the side of you can't watch my kid if I've never met you. And respectfully, that's another thing you have to consider because you don't have kids.
Right.
And that would be one of my first questions. If you come to me and say, yo, can my friend, I'm gonna take my kid over to my friend's house. One of my first questions would be, do they have children? And when you tell me no, she's never had a child, huh? Wait, I don't. Would that be wrong? Because I would feel like that. No, you can't. Why would you take over to someone's house who's never had a child? I don't know that they have the patience. I don't know that they're gonna know what to do in certain situations. How do you know?
I guess it just depending on how they are, you're not gonna leave them with someone that isn't responsible versus someone that is. I don't know, but I mean, my friends thought I was responsible enough, and their kid may have been maybe one or so. They were still babies, and I remember one time they wanted like a date night or something like that, and I was like, they didn't have anyone to leave him with, and I was like, just bring him over. So they dropped him off together and picked him back up a few hours later.
If you're watching live, comment if you can on what you would do. Are you comfortable with someone watching your child who you have never met if your partner is telling you that they know them and they're comfortable with it, or would you have an issue with it? I couldn't see it. I there's no way I could do it. But you have to have some level of trust in your co-parent. And I know for a lot of people it's water under the bridge, right? Once you get to the point, because that's another conversation I was having with one of my friends, is it was kind of funny. We're talking in a group chat, and one of my friends said to my other friend in the middle of his rant, "How did you end up here?" Like, you ever just listen to somebody's stories about somebody that they're trying to raise a child with, and you can't help but ask, how? Like, how did you choose this person? And his answer was similar to what you hear. Yo, this is not who they were. At the time that we had this child, they were a different individual. And now you're trying to co-parent with somebody who, in this particular situation, the issues are much bigger than the child. There are people in the world who will use a child as a weapon in order to continue to try to get back at their ex. And I think you got to be a certain level of sick. I mean, I understand that people are petty. I understand that people go through things, but as two adults, to try to harm the relationship of another adult with their child on purpose because of how you feel towards them, not taking in what this does to affect the child, I think you got to be a certain level of sick. I'm gonna be honest. Some got to be a little off there for you to want to engage that way. But I know it happens, and I know it happens often. And in this case, though, I don't know if she was making this an issue simply because it was a convenience for him that she did not want him to have, or if she had the right to really have the concern that she did. But I can't say that I would be comfortable with anyone watching my child who I have never met. I have to at least meet you. I don't know that I would be able to trust your judgment on you telling me that someone you know is okay to watch our child. At the same time, if you make that statement, you have to think to yourself, did I trust this person's judgment when I had a child with them? Because if the answer is no, you are part of the problem. Right? I mean, you should trust someone you're laying down, because a lot of people, sometimes the child is an accident. Right? But that's why you should just trust the person you're laying down with, period.
Right.
If you trust the person you're having a child with, you should be able to trust their judgment once the child is in their possession, no?
I mean, if they're not together anymore, there may be a reason they're not together. Maybe they no longer trusted their judgment. So why would I trust you with our child?
If you can't trust their judgment, why are you having a child with them?
Like you said, what if it was an accident? What if it wasn't a planned child? And now
I hate that term, by the way.
You're the one that said it.
I know, but I hate it. Because it can happen, right? You oops, but it's not like you tripped and fell and landed in the sheets with this person. And it's an accident, but is it really? Like, is it really an accident? It's a lot of steps involved. It ain't one of those, whoops.
Okay,
I did it again.
Unplanned pregnancy. How about that?
Okay, fine, right? You stuck then. That's the thing about children. When you think about it, no, for real. When you think about it, like, especially an unplanned child, is sex really worth that? Like, is sex so great that it's worth 18 years of this was supposed to be one night with this person?
And now the rest 18 of your life. I mean, 18 years if you have to pay child support.
Nah, 18 years, I'm out if it was unplanned. Hey, I did my job, buddy. Nah, but is it worth it? I don't know if sex is that great. I don't know. It's all right. After a while, though, I ain't trying to go through this, man. I really be listening to what some of my friends got to go through. For real. Trying to co-parent. And it is hell on earth for some of them. Like for real, it's tough, and men and women. I know we think only women go through this, and a lot of the time it is women, but there are men who are really struggling and wanting to be a father, and the system that is not designed for them. She is not making it easy. No one is making it easy for them, and it's tough. And this is just one incident that I think people go through in terms of trying to co-parent. There's millions of others that we could discuss and debate, but just this one alone is a tough one where I could see coming from either side, either angle. But that has always been a fear of mine. Bring a child into the world with the wrong person. That's a huge part of why I have been patient. Speaking of patience, you know what I realized?
What?
When you get to a certain, I don't know if it's an age or a certain point in your life, people, I don't know if they forget or if they just stop caring. They gonna ask you about a child. Like, I thought asking somebody about having children was widely known as something you should not do. Am I off here?
Everybody asks, so I don't know.
But why? But why?
I know you're the one that'll be like, well, that's intrusive.
So I said this to one of my aunts the other day, and I felt a little bad after, but I don't feel like I was wrong. Now, mind you, with all love and respect for her, because I have nothing but love and respect for her, but I just want to be clear. She like a play aunt. So this ain't like...
You act as if that would make it any different, because you would tell your aunt the
I would.
same thing.
I would tell her. I would tell my aunt the same thing. I would. I probably would have had a little more leeway though in you asking me. I think I would have for my real aunt. Now listen, but this is important to note. This wasn't like, yo, what's up? Like, you don't want kids, or what's up with kids? Soon as you mention kids to me, I already think you've crossed the boundary. I already think you crossed the line. Because what you about to do? If I have a kid tomorrow, what are you about to do? Are you going to babysit? You going to pay for diapers? Are you know what I mean? Like, y'all not. What you going to do for real?
Is it small talk? What is it?
And that's the thing. Why do you care if I'm having kids or not? If you are my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my sisters, someone who is going to be directly impacted by me bringing a child into this world, I guess you can ask. You can ask.
Though?
Yeah, I think so. Not for everybody. I'm saying for me. For me, I don't mind it, because these are people who are going to help me. I think it's okay for my mom to feel like, hello, I want to be a grandmother. I think that's okay. But when you like a aunt, friend of the family, and then at first it was like, you kind of getting up there, and I'm like, yo, you are violating right now. This is, if the roles were reversed, is what I'm saying. And I'm speaking to a younger woman who is, I don't know, in her 30s, let's say, and I'm in my 50s. And I say to her, yo, queen, getting up there. Might be time. When are you going to jump in the cockpit and fly the plane? That's not crazy. For real. That's not wild to ask them, because you don't know what people are going through. And sometimes I feel like I'm the only person who considers that you don't know what somebody is going through. They might be fighting for their life to have a child. They might not be able to produce children, and it could be something that pains them every day, could trigger them. You don't know. If somebody is older and don't have children, why don't you consider that there may actually be a reason? For real, I'm not saying it's about me, but I'm just saying in life, why doesn't anything tell you, maybe that's not my business?
Because people are just nosy.
That's one word.
Nosy, or maybe it's also loving. I don't know.
Loving. Loving. That's what we're going with.
They love you, and they want to see a mini you. I don't know.
Fam, see a mini me. You haven't seen me.
When's
Some
the
people,
last time they seen you?
last time you saw me, if the last time you saw me was 5, 10, 15 years ago, there's mad questions you could ask me about what I've been up to in life. Like, where the kids at shouldn't be like the second question on our catching up. That's just wild to me. I can't see myself asking somebody. And again, I always feel like I'm picking on someone when they inspire me to talk about a certain topic. I'm not picking on her. She didn't do anything wrong. But it was like once the conversation got to like, because I think I said, in God's time. That's what I said. That's always my get out of it answer, right? Because it is in God's time. It's not in mine. Some people are struggling to have kids. You just don't know people's story. You don't know their situation. And this is with other times. It could be marriage.
I was
Marriage
about
could
to
be.
ask you. So, what do you prefer if you had to pick one or the other?
I
What
prefer
do you-
like, hey, how's your day going?
No,
You know what I mean?
it's between those two.
Like, yo, how's the
questions.
house? Like stuff like that.
No, it's either gonna be so when are you getting married or so where are the kids? If you had to pick one or the other, which one would
Between
you?
the two,
Yes.
I think getting married is a little less intrusive.
Okay.
Because for real, asking somebody, yo, when are the kids is like, so are y'all having sex? Are you guys rocking the boat? Are you making it happen? Are the divers diving? Like, they'll ask you
Oh
this
my
at dinner. They ask you this at brunch over eggs. And nobody thinks this is weird. That's a weird question to ask somebody, especially if y'all are not that close. That's what I'm saying. And then just when I was going to come in here and be like, y'all, it's always a woman asking me this. Here go my boy last night. Yo, what's up with them kids, Brody? What are we on? Why y'all? You can't ask that. Why do people? And this is how I'll wrap it up. Why do you care? Now, the producer is nosy. So you can speak to the nosy people who ask these questions. In all sincerity, I don't mean this to be mean. Why do you care? I have never, in all of my years of living, had a thought to myself of if anyone else in my life was working on having a kid or not. Take my man. He just got engaged. We the same age. He's not young, he's not old. That's what I like to say about my age. Not for real, because y'all be like, you getting older, but God forbid, I always say this, if you pass away and you in your 30s or your 40s, what do people always say?
He was so young.
So don't call me
She was
old while
so
I'm
young.
alive. You always say he was so young. You'll say he was so young if something happens to me. Don't call me old while I'm alive. I am old at the point where I get to an age where if God forbid something happens to me, you would say, he lived a good life. That's when you're old. Now, he don't have kids. Do you think I would ask him this? Do you think the next time I saw them, I would say, hey, what we doing?
No, you
Where them
wouldn't.
kids at?
You wouldn't.
Why would you do that? What does it do for you is what I'm trying to say. Like once you ask me this and I say, plan to have, hopefully they'll be here by next April. Once you have that answer.
I don't think I've ever asked anyone that question.
Oh, I believe you have.
About kids?
I think you've asked everyone a question about everything at some point in life.
I don't think I have.
For real, you lead the nosy committee. Yeah. Maybe you haven't asked that, but you ask a lot of questions about what's going on in people's relationships, like friend stuff.
Yeah, I do.
What do you do with the information? That's my question.
Nothing.
So y'all just be asking. That's why it frustrates me, because you're not about to help. You're not about, like, what you want to know for.
Sometimes just letting them talk it out, I think, helps them.
I don't want to talk to you about if I'm having kids or not.
Yeah, I mean, that
Who are
kids,
you, a life coach?
the kids thing is a bit much.
Which part of it you gonna coach me through? If I say, yo, I'm working on it, but I've been coming up short, what advice you got for me?
So
For real.
try it this way.
Show me. Like, show me the move that got you over the hump.
Wait.
Literally. What?
Didn't one of your friends dad tell one of his other friends what he had to do to have a boy?
Says you got to put it all the way in. You know what I mean? If you didn't have a boy, you didn't go to town correctly. But yeah, I don't get that question. It feels very intrusive. And when she brought it up and she said, "What are you doing? What's happening with the kids?" I said, "In God's timing." And then she said, "Cause life is short, and you can't be out here playing, and you getting older, and she getting older, and everybody's getting older." And I'm like, okay, this is intrusive. And then everybody laughed.
That awkward laugh?
Yes. And I can hear my mom in the back going, "That's my son. Y'all know. That's my son." And I'm like, damn, did I do something wrong? I always feel like somebody else went too far. And then now I say something in response, and then now I feel bad. You have made me feel bad about the fact that I don't want to talk to you about why I do or do not have kids yet. That's all. And all I'm saying is, in my mind, I think of these things. I always think to myself, like, I don't want to make anything awkward. So if I see that a couple is together, they older, they in their 50s, they don't have kids, they not married, it's not even on my mind. But if it was, I wouldn't ask it.
Right.
I just wouldn't ask it. Something would tell me it's a reason. Whatever reason they not married, they don't have kids, there is a reason. And whatever that reason is, it is none of my business. So I am more into questions like, how's work? And I don't care about that either. But it just feels like a more suitable small talk question than, when are you going to have children? I'm going to start making it real awkward. That's what I'm going to do, so that y'all get when are you going to start? We just finished having sex. But I didn't really have my best game, so it probably not going to happen this time around.
Wait, you should do that. I want to see someone's reaction or hear someone's reaction.
Right? Like, yo, I ain't going to, what's crazy is I just ain't been hitting lately. Yo, it ain't working out for me. I don't know if I got to go to the left. I don't know. Maybe you could help. Maybe you could come over sometime. Maybe give me some pointers. Show me what to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm shooting them. They ain't falling. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining us on Mornings with Mo. Did we get any comments? We didn't? Any live ones, at least?
No live comments.
All right.
We do have some viewers on right now.
I know. I see y'all watching, but y'all ain't commenting. It's all good. But thank you for being here. The numbers are going up. That's what I want to see, even if it's one every time. That's what I'm talking about. Thank y'all for being here.
Oh, actually, we do have a comment.
See? I'm
sorry.
Look,
let me read this comment. What happens when you're leading completely separate lives or divorced? The other parent doesn't get a say. So
if you are living separate lives or you are divorced, when the child is in custody of one parent, the other parent does not get a say in how affairs with that child is handled.
Correct.
Do you agree with that?
This is what Carolyn Henley said.
Thank you, Carolyn, for joining us on the show. Do you agree with that?
No.
You believe you should still have a say, regardless?
Yeah, I think you should let them know. I mean, I do know that sometimes you tell them afterwards, like, hey, I left them at my friend's house because I had to go to work and I didn't have a choice.
That's on purpose. That was calculated. You told me after, when there was nothing I could do about it.
Because you knew there was going to be, you were trying to avoid a problem. Like, you're already in a problem because you're forced to leave them with your friend or your neighbor, whatever the case is, right?
Right.
It's like that or...
But see, here's the thing. You really don't have a say. Like, I could see how you would want to say. I don't think her comment is wrong because you really don't. If I would try to be courteous, I think it's a good thing to try to be courteous. And if the child was in my possession and I'm like, yo, I'm going to Disney World. I got an opportunity to take the child to Disney World with some friends of mine. And you like, they ain't going because I don't know your friends. You will have to find me at Disney World. Would you think I'm not going to go?
I will.
I'm like, hey, yo, why Mickey Mouse keep following us all around the park? Everywhere I go, I see Mickey. Yo, who is, nah, for real, right? And that's something you would have to do. You would have to dress up. as Goofy and come
Stop.
find me because I'm at the park. You really don't get a say. Like you, as a parent, you can make it seem as if your partner, you're co-parenting. All right, I'll take it. I'll take what you have to say into consideration. But ultimately, it does fall on the other side of the partner, and that's what happens. Sometimes he did in this situation. He did what he wanted to do. She didn't agree. So when she got the child back, she was on some, I'm not giving you the child now. And now they having that whole thing. It's a nightmare, y'all. But I think you should have a say, but it should be a reasonable say. That's the thing. Everybody is not reasonable. If we can co-parent and you are a reasonable individual who has common sense and you are coming to the table to meet in the middle, then I feel like you should have a say and we should be able to find some form of compromise. It's one of those situations where you shouldn't be 100% right, and neither should I. Like, I shouldn't get my way 100% of the time, and you shouldn't get yours. But if the child was with me in my possession, that's 9/10 of the law. 9 times out of 10, we're going to do what I feel like we should do.
So now, what if you're separated, divorced, and you start dating someone and you want to bring the child around the new person that you're dating and they didn't tell you? Do you believe that they should tell you beforehand, or?
I do. I believe the moment that you know that your child is going to be around someone else, you should inform your, I don't know, what do you call them? It's not your partner, your ex, I guess. Right? Yeah, you should always inform them that you're speaking to somebody and that somebody's going to be in the child's life. I personally think that. And then this entire conversation is exactly why when people be coming up to me talking about where the kids at, I'm like, well, y'all, first of all, y'all act like y'all make it look so amazing. Y'all don't. Every time one of y'all call me about your child, you complaining about the kid, you complaining about who you co-parent with the kid. You always you complain. My dude called me the other day. It was Sunday morning, 8:30 in the morning. He like, why they already up asking me for money?
Oh my gosh.
What I want to experience that for? It does no. Like, don't rush me or force me unless you putting some money on my child. If you helping my child get into college, then you can ask me when I'm getting a child. Is that it? It's the only comment?
That's the only comment for now.
Look at us. We getting comments in the morning. This is exciting. Thank y'all for being here. Another 45-minute edition of Mornings with Mo. This is our 3rd episode. If you have joined us for the first time today, this is every Tuesday and Thursday morning live from 7:15 to 8. We are currently on Twitch and YouTube and working on TikTok. Should be on TikTok this week. I will keep y'all posted on other platforms that we will be joining. But yes, you can get accustomed to seeing us here every Tuesday and Thursday morning live as you are taking your kids to work, as you are cleaning up the house, whatever you got going on, or just trying to stay out the way, mind your business, and co-parent. And always remember, if you are struggling with these kids, you can always take a page out of Big Tigger's ex-wife's or book.
Oh my gosh.
What? Well, you can't take the kids somewhere and just leave them and never forget they exist?
No, that's not how it works.
Never mind that. Sometimes I get ahead of myself, y'all. Thank you for joining us with Mornings with Mo. See y'all Thursday. Peace.